What?
Like, I never
Yes.
tell you guys I'm doing it, and I just did it.
I didn't know we were streaming.
Yeah, dude, we're streaming right now. Like, did you not know?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. No, I meant like, yeah,
What?
nothing.
Oh,
Yeah, I wasn't sure if we were streaming still.
dude.
Is all.
Oh, looks like we are.
Yeah, we're streaming. Did you not know we're streaming? I get you.
No, 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 I didn't get the notification.
Oh.
Just kidding.
Oh, you got me. You got me. Yo, is Nick here?
Yeah. Why?
Because we're Black and Yellow Otaku Gamers. And
Son of a bitch.
we're here to talk about some silly shit. And unfortunately, you can't see our lovely faces today due to technical issues. But, this might be better for you all because,
Yeah, our faces are broken.
I didn't get my hair did today. And,
Fuck, I didn't
We look
fucking.
janky AF right now.
Christ.
What?
I swear I'm not naked right now.
Shh.
Alright.
You're,
I'm not taking
you're
shit right now.
implanting.
I have pants, I swear.
Stop it. Don't do that. Well, yeah. So, we're here. I am Blackatron, a.k.a. Kenny, and I'm your host, as always. The shit. And I'm with Commander Cock, a.k.a. Mark.
What
I'm
up?
with Loha, a.k.a. Mr. Sock.
Hello.
I'm with Nick, a.k.a. Rakutsu, a.k.a. Nickelodeon. Got nothing on him.
Hello, hello.
Well, yeah, so we're here to talk about something that I think is such a big topic, especially when you're trying to get your friends into anime. Because anime is life, like ball. And you want to get all your friends to enjoy, the same feeling that you had when you first saw, something either really intense or something emotional, something really funny. You want them to experience it too. So, you sit them down and you're like, hey, we're going to watch this. You cool with it? It's like, is this some tentacle shit? No!
Do you want to know something? One of my friend's wife actually thinks that about all anime.
Isn't this the one that went to watch Your Name?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. That's funny.
So I feel he should recount the story.
Yeah, recount the story.
So what it was my friend, he told his wife, hey, do you want to watch a movie? It's a drama/romance movie. And she's like, yeah, sure. What she didn't know was that they were going to watch Your Name. And when it comes to anime, her mind always first thinks of tentacles. Little girls screaming because of the... Yeah, you get my point. But
Little girl screaming.
she ended up going with my friend, and then they started watching it. The opening starts playing. She was like, God damn it, this is an anime? But then in the end, she actually ended up enjoying it a whole lot.
Yeah, I can't see anyone, even if you don't watch anime, watching Your Name and then just being like, oh, it sucks. It's impossible. You could test me, but I don't think it's ever really gonna happen. I got my friend to watch The Boy and the Beast, and I said, hey, I think maybe your girlfriend will want to watch this too, because she's into some anime, but not all of them. So I'm like, hey, I think she might like this too. It has that, it's funny, it's actiony, and there's feels in it. And she's like, all right, cool, I'm gonna watch it. And then I saw him the next week, and he wasn't looking at me, he was trying to avoid my stare. So I'm like, all right, what's going on here? So I walk over to his desk and I'm like, what's up, dude? He's like, none. I was like, we talked for a bit, and he's trying to avoid us talking about the movie. And I was like, hey, so how's the movie? Did you like it? And he's like, dude, I loved it. It was really good. But my girlfriend was just like, what the hell? And I'm like, what? What do you mean? It's like, yeah, she just got really annoyed at a lot of different things. And I was like, oh, I can't really be mad at it. But that's the thing. It's there's either little tropes or the small little details about a harem or something that just makes people be fucking done with anime. actually annoying. You want to trigger me? That's it, right there.
And one of these, that's the kind of thing that I brought up about worst anime and why I picked Boku no Pico. And that's because, again, it's that thing where it sets up that precedent where if you give someone something beautiful and the first introduction to it is either something too high level or too just absolutely cringy and shitty, like gay fucking pedophilia, that's going to put someone off of an entire genre.
Definitely.
Sorry, very easily.
Yeah.
And I mean, it's that annoying thing where someone tells someone, "Oh yeah, that really cool cutscene of that." I don't know, we'll like something from One Punch Man. If someone asks, "Oh, where's that from?" and someone says Boku no Pico, instead of your first foray into anime being One Punch Man, which is just agreed by all of us as one of the better anime out there for its comedy and animation and everything.
And Gateway.
And then you end up looking at that shit. Yeah, it's a great gateway anime.
Yeah.
And then if you get Boku no Pico instead, you're gonna be like, oh, this is what anime can be. I feel like if you aren't prefaced with what good anime can be, you will easily be swayed to thinking all anime is that. I mean, even it's like that sheltered mindset where if I think anime for a little while, like a couple months, maybe even a couple years, is only good, cool stuff, and then I find out about the tentacles and hentai and crazy shit, that makes it like, okay.
See, I'm lucky.
I'm aware that there's difference.
I'm lucky because I was brought into, I was a Toonami anime fan. Like, that's how I got into it. Even though, like, it did start earlier than that, where, like, you had the 4Kids and, like, Fox Kids and all that other shit. So, like, I never had to deal with that stuff until, like, what was it? Tenchi Muyo? I think that was, my first real, like, harem. And I was just like, I didn't look at it as a harem, and I was just okay with it for a while. And then I started to find real harems, and I experienced things that I probably shouldn't have experienced. I watched anime like School Days that changed me as a man. You know, like
That's such a weird anime to watch while you're just getting into it.
Yeah.
But
I mean, it was one of the first few ones that I got into, like, because my friends are assholes.
fucking terrible friends, dude. That's how it all starts.
Yeah.
Like every issue
You're a
that
terrible
people
friend.
have is they
Yes.
they got brought into this world incorrectly.
Yeah.
What the hell?
I mean, well, you still made it out okay.
I'm alright.
Yeah.
I guess
My
you call it
opinion is continuously skewed. I'll say that.
okay.
I can agree.
Yeah, it's like with this season right now. Not to take away from this argument or anything, because obviously there's a lot of that in this season. You're getting a lot of random things that, especially with Misconception. You know, you got like in Among Sensei, where half the shit that happens in there, or like the background of the story itself, like brother falling in love for sister type thing. Like people always hear about it, don't watch anime, and they expect it without watching it. You know what I mean? Like, especially with
Yes.
sword art. You know, like everything. Like it just keeps coming back in a circle. Like the gateway anime causes people to get away from it, and then they don't give it another shot with other opportunities for great things. Like if you start with like Cowboy Bebop or like Yu Yu Hakusho or something, like something really to grab your attention and keep you away from all the nonsense, you're probably gonna keep going down that path. You'll be like us someday.
Someday.
I can't speak for
November.
Nick, but
Fair enough.
Ah.
good times, good times. It's all fun. It's all fun.
Is
It's no hate at all. It's fun. But yeah, so that's where I'm coming from with it. And to be honest, I think like some of the series lately I've been a little brazen and not giving a shit. Like in Among Sensei, for example, where like the second episode they're talking about dicks. Like
Oh yeah.
Oh my god, that was
That was.
good. That was well done.
Okay.
No. I would have. Yeah, so that's one of those things where it's one of those. I feel like that would be a turnoff to a random or new anime fan, because my thought process of that is, I as a new person, I'm like, okay, so I know people like make fun of anime for being into that sort of crazy shit, and then it's like you have a middle school girl who talks about, it's like, I like dick. It's like, okay, maybe anime. They kind of clarified it as just kind of being a ha ha. She's kidding, JK, not really JK. And they also, it doesn't translate well from Asia, because in Asia, middle school is 14.
Mm-hmm.
In addition to the fact that, like, in Asia, they don't really give a shit 90% of the time about age. It's like, if you're a teenager, you can go and fuck and do whatever the hell you want.
Isn't the age
Whereas
of
in
consent
America, we've got
like
that.
what, 15 or some shit like that?
In Japan, it's like 12.
Oh,
13. 13.
is it?
Is it
13,
15?
13 is the
It's
national
like
like
12.
baseline.
What the fuck?
But
13, yeah, 13. I'm sorry, 13.
it's like the national baseline, but each prefecture can
Yeah.
have
That explains a
higher
lot.
if they want.
Like,
Yeah.
I went.
So basically, the equation is like how here, like in America, 15 is like that cusp. 16 is like, okay, yeah, chances are you're having sex at 16. In Japan and Asia in general, it's like 13 is that point where you're normally having sex.
But then you also gotta remember that Japan surprisingly has like one of the highest rates of like people not having sex in general. So it's like, what is true at this point? Like, are they having sex? Probably not. And if they are they? You know.
I mean,
if they are they?
to my understanding of that note and how it works is, basically it's the cultural acceptance of of having sex. It's like, if you're having sex, you're fucking at 13. But the national, like, okay, here's the thing, is set at,
But
I
they
guess,
barely
15.
know
I
what
thought it
sex
was
is at
younger.
13, don't they?
No. They have it culturally. Like,
They read
right
manga.
now, Kenny can attest to this.
They read
In
manga.
America, if you walk into a gas station, they will cover, like, in America, if you walk into a gas station, they'll cover like Playboy. It's in the top shelf in the back, and they'll have like a little screen so you can't even read it. You see like the header, and that is it.
Right.
In Japan, you're looking, and right next to like a fucking children's magazine is like Bondage 101.
I will say, you're wrong, and right. You're wrong and right. I think you're right because I think it's like a discretion thing for the shop owners. I think if the shop owner chooses to wrap said object up, they can. Because that's what I've learned. Like, it's not like a universal thing where everyone either leaves it open or leaves it wrapped. It's like, some places, it's like, there it is. Especially 7-Eleven, dude. It's like, alright, look at this. I got the new Attack on Titan. Ooh, look at that. Some crazy stuff's going on. Ooh, look at that. The new My Hero. Deku's doing some crazy stuff. And then, ooh, titties. You know what I mean? Like,
I love that transition right there. To be perfectly honest, that was great.
any transition that ends with titties is magical.
It's absolutely good.
Yeah.
There's less in this world that is as right and pure.
Very true. So, yeah, I could see both arguments. But I've also been in places like Akihabara is like that too for a lot of the different stores. Like, a lot of them are sealed and you can't even open them. But then there's a lot of them that are like, who gives a shit? And they just let you do whatever you want. So, yeah, teaches on, I guess. And I do think it's more of a discretionary thing between the shop owner. Because it's like a different thing. Alright, sorry, I keep talking about this, but like, if you go to Barnes & Nobles, right? And you go and pick up like a manga, right? If their sexuality in it is sealed. So like, if you wanted High School of the Dead, that whole set is sealed. So like, I guess we kind of, I don't know, it's such a weird gray area. But whatever. Now,
See, here's the thing.
what are you gonna say now?
Well, no, I was gonna say, even the fact that it's a discretionary thing is not here. Like here, we have a high amount of standards. Like, if I went into if I was like a Publix manager, I couldn't say, all right, well, we're gonna put Playboys up in the groceries. Like, I wouldn't be allowed to do it. Like it's a lot stricter here.
Can I get weird?
So even, yeah, sure, go get weird.
Yo,
Wait.
Like,
We don't have the cameras on, right?
Japanese,
Yeah, okay, go get weird.
Japanese porn. It's like like titties are like whatever. They don't give a shit. But like dicks and shit, that's just all censored. It's just me.
Yeah.
Like I
yes.
swear, every time I see it, I'm just like, what the fuck, dude? Like, how do you even watch this? But then at the same time, like, well, if the girl got nice tits, whatever. But it is Japan.
It's funny because for them the sensibility or whatever of it is that pubic hair and ergo like genitalia have to be censored. That's like a law.
And they don't shave.
Yeah, it's weird. It's weird. I don't.
Yeah, so we got weird real quick. If you're a new viewer, this doesn't happen ever.
Sorry about that.
We'd never talk about this, but
Yeah.
I know that Nick really wanted me to bring it up during this podcast. He messaged me privately.
Right.
Sent you a censored dick pic.
That sounds absolutely right.
But the dick's so small, you don't even have to censor it.
Wow.
Damn.
Jesus.
Got him.
Cold-blooded.
Anyway.
Woo. Well,
Anyway.
look at Konosuba. Konosuba, they're using tropes to
Yes.
for comedic delivery, right? And it's like if you were to like put Konosuba on somebody, you could never give that shit to a new anime viewer. Like you could try, but it won't work out. You'd have to give it to somebody that's already been watching anime for a long time.
I would
Or playing
argue
modern
that.
day.
Yeah, video games. I was gonna say.
Oh
video-
yeah, that's why.
And that's another
my
thing
bad.
about misconceptions about anime, and it's a positive feedback loop. Anime and gaming culture is intertwined very heavily, which is why shit like Sword Art Online, Konosuba,
Probably at its heaviest right now.
Overlord. Yeah, especially now. You have especially for like that genre of tying into fantasy, and they even kind of made fun of. It's hilarious because at first there's the making fun of video gamers in anime by having them sent into the worlds. Like, God help me, I can't remember. The same one
ReZero?
that did.
Oh no.
Yeah, like ReZero isn't one of them, but it was more.
Log Horizon.
Yeah, Log Horizon. There's another comedy one that I had watched. I can't remember what it was off the top of my head, but basically it's stuff that makes fun of the fantasy genre. Then people getting sent into the fantasy genre, and then Konosuba is making it's a parody of people getting sent into a fantasy genre. Like that's meta as shit right there. And I mean, I don't know if we've hit the point of diminishing returns where these tropes, these common misconceptions where yeah, if I'm a nerd and I get sucked into a world, what am I going to do? Oh, I'll know how to survive this world because of gaming. So, really, one thing that you also have to take into account about these kind of misconceptions is nerd culture dictates it. So, if you're nerdy, you're automatically going to already like anime because it's kind of catered to you. And on the flip side, someone who's not into either video games or anime is going to look at someone who does either or and probably think, that guy is some weird otaku gamer. Just because, again, it's
Black and
everything's
yellow?
tied together.
Otaku gamer?
Yeah, they might be black and yellow. Isn't that a weird
Oh
thing?
shit.
I mean, to add on to what Nick's been going on about, it's also a very big like misconception that it's strictly for like the nerd culture, when there's a lot of stuff that's definitely not related to nerd culture at all. Things like the musical anime, like Your Lie in April.
Yes. And
It's a drama that's like totally like disconnected from nerd culture.
and it's gonna keep doing that. Like we got a fucking ballroom anime. Like ballroom
What?
dancing
Do we?
anime. Yes, it's coming
That's
out
next season, right?
season, yeah. And I actually want to watch
Oh.
it because it looks cool. Like it has that that cool like Haikyuu-ish art style to it, but it's like Haikyuu Yuri on Ice together, but like
Doesn't sound good, man.
No. I mean,
I
like,
would say that sounds abysmal.
no. Like, when I say animation, when Yuri on Ice is good with Haikyuu. Because Yuri on Ice, when it's good, it's actually good. When it's bad, it's terrible. And that's why I think Yuri on Ice, as a movie, when it comes out, I think it's going to do really well because they'll actually have the budget to do half the fucking anime correctly. You know? Like, I've heard great things about the Blu-ray. I've heard the Blu-ray actually fixes all their bullshit errors. Because, man, watching that anime and watching that animation makes me want to pull my eyes out of my sockets. And, like, tie them together and use them as nunchucks. Literally how I feel.
That sounds fucking awesome.
Sounds good.
So, that's how I feel about that. And like I said, we are getting places with anime. We're getting a lot of different stories that are completely new, using a lot of more real life things. You know, I remember when Joker game first came out, I was like kind of happy to see that we had more of a historical anime going on, even though that's not really what it was intended to do. But it was just like, here's all this cool shit from like, it was World War II, right? Or was it one?
Yes, World War II.
Okay.
World War II.
Okay, that's what I thought. Cool. So all that shit's happening, and it's like, dude, I'd love to see more anime like this, where it's not just like this guy getting sucked into another world, or like this kid thinking he's gonna be Hokage, and like this guy trying to get treasure, and it's gonna take like 10 years for him to find it. You know, like all this bullshit. And I actually had this argument recently with two of my friends. We had this whole discussion about My Hero, right? And My Hero currently in its state, everyone's complaining about its pacing, right? The pacing is slow. No, it's not. The pacing is extremely justified. I have no issues with the pacing. I think everything about My Hero is like perfect. I have no issues with My Hero.
What the fuck are they talking about?
Yeah.
It's slow.
No. If you read the manga, you'll understand, because the manga is super fast. But that's the thing. It fixes the manga's issue with pacing. And everyone complains about, oh, there's too many flashbacks, this and that. It's like, dude,
What?
it's all for impact, and it works every time.
See,
That sounds like Attack on Titan right now. People are complaining about that. IGN gave
Yes.
the latest episode a freaking, what was it, 6.5?
Oh, that's ridiculous. Everyone's been talking about how great it is.
Yeah, the most recent episode was like probably one of the better ones.
Yeah.
well,
But-
first off, my point to that is it is needed because Mark and I were complaining about how the lack of backstory is kind of, it was distracting, and then it's like, oh, look at that, the next 3 episodes are the backstory we needed, especially for if you read ahead. I don't know about Mark, but watching this, it reminds me, oh my god, I forgot that's exactly how that reveal was done. That's exactly how it's out now, so it's no spoiler, but that's how he revealed, hey, so we're actually the big bad Titans. So yeah, you gonna come with us? Shit up again.
Yeah.
And then that whole battle scene, both the animation being better because it's animated, and then also the art quality being higher than the manga.
Wait. Hold
made
on.
that
Can we go
scene-
back 1 second? You said
What?
the animation was good because it was animated.
Yeah. No. Like, no, I'm
The
not correcting that.
presentation
Seriously,
Of
Yeah,
the events
like,
happening
if
was
I
a
look
lot
at
better when it was animated than...
Okay.
Yes.
All right. I was like, what?
yeah, like it was better than the 4-panel scene transformation because it's this actually drawn out animation process. Animated process, I should say. But because that was something Mark and I were talking about, is this is radically different and better because of the fact, this is animated. So it's really cool because instead of just, 3 scenes, blah, 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 it's bam, check this shit out.
Yeah, the execution on top of what you already felt when you first read it definitely makes it much more impactful, and you actually feel like it's new, which is great. Like when I was watching My Hero, they had the whole headband battle issue, and like
Yes.
I couldn't remember if they lost or not, and it was messing with me. So as I'm watching it, I'm actually pumped and like, dude, I swear to God, Deku doesn't win. I was like getting upset, and then like he won, and I was just like, I felt like I was gonna cry the way he was with the fucking tears flying up and his body
He's
falling to
shoving-
the ground.
Shoving
to the
you
ground.
into the ground, yeah.
Ugh.
So like the thing is that it's not that you feel that the series is bad. It's that the genre it's in is controlled by the formula. Like it's controlled by that silly formula that every shonen or every harem, whatever, it's gonna keep doing that, and you should know this going in, and that's why you should kind of look at it completely, like not think about the tropes being like issues for the show, but understanding that these tropes have to be here because that's the genre it's in.
Yes.
You know what I mean? Like when people are complaining about flashbacks, really? Like that's literally how all shonens are. You can go back to fucking every shonen. Like the only one I can really think that I don't remember a lot of flashbacks was Dragon Ball Z. I don't think there was, but it wasn't like a lot.
There is no need for flashbacks
Yeah.
because they had Dragon Ball already, and then I think the only time they flashback was when they held the tournament again,
Mhm.
and that I think that was the only time.
I could tell you my literally my only complaint about My Hero. Are you ready? It's the fucking opening sequence, then the opening, and then the recap. It's like they just make me feel dumb.
Yeah, it's pretty brutal.
They make you feel
Yeah.
dumb, like, oh, you know, you don't have the capacity to fucking remember
Yeah,
all this shit.
Just in case you're an infant that has no object permanence and forgets shit the
It
second
is
it's
aimed
done.
at kids too, so I guess I can understand it, but it's like,
Yeah, I think Bleach did that for a really long time.
I actually believe it did too. I can't remember, but I think
Yeah,
it did.
I know it definitely did it for like the first 2 seasons, like even after the first Soul Society thing or whatever. But it definitely did it for a very long
it
time.
did
It's
it
like, hey,
probably up to Bounce. Stupid ass.
yeah,
Bounce.
he was like, hey, I'm a fucking Soul Reaper now because this happened with this guy. It's like, oh, and now I'm doing this, and then it recaps like, I'm fighting this guy now, and then the opening happens or some shit.
Yeah.
Attack on Titan's been doing that recently too.
Yeah, like I think it's
It
like every
annoys me.
popular series does it, and it's like I totally understand why, and that's just like the tropes. I understand why it's there. I accept it. I critique everything else because unless it's like a series that takes the trope and spins on it, that's the only time I really critique it because like you went out of your way to take a trope that makes you be in this genre and you spend it so that it can be like either comedic or like, you know, a whole
Or
nother
deconstruction.
feeling, you know, like yes. With I'm trying to think what Armed Girls. When I was watching that, the only thing that was keeping me there was the fact that they were using tropes and delivering it a little differently than I'm used to. If not, it probably would have been like gone because it was too generic. So that's my rant.
I personally have no problem with just about any standard quote unquote trope we could probably come up with. Because it's something
Tentacles.
that yes, tentacles.
Yeah.
Um,
You cool with that, dude?
there was something. Give me a second. There's actually something for that.
So yes, he's okay with
Um, yeah, no, there was something that was just absolutely pants on head retarded that had tentacles in it, but they actually worked it into the plot. And I'm talking like just like how the nudity was brought in as a plot point for Kill la Kill, and it actually was like a real not complete bullshit reason. I just can't remember what it was right now. Damn it. That's gonna bother me. But there's something that had the tentacles in it. I just can't remember. I'm gonna yell it at the end of the podcast, and you guys are gonna think I'm insane.
Hey, I do that shit all the time whenever I forget something and then it like smacks me later.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just hard because I can understand as like a writer, for like a big magazine like Jump, you know, you want to be creative, innovative, and keep your readers and stay on top of the standings without being the same thing as the other people. But it's like so hard not to fall into that category with your genre being what it is. Like this guy who keeps writing about fucking guys and their sisters loving each other. He's always gonna be known as that for the rest of his life. It's like, you know what? I can't help it. I just love writing about the main character falling in love with their sister.
Does he have a little sister?
I don't know. It was funny though because I was actually reading an interview. No, not interview. Yeah, it was an interview where he was like, I don't always have to do this, but I can write about it as long as I want. But he said he might go into horror someday, which would be pretty cool. But I don't know if that's like gonna be a part of the genre of the sisters. It can go so many ways.
The old saying, everything's a nail to a hammer. I feel like this guy's going to keep hammering these regardless of the overall genre.
Wow, you really nailed that one.
Yep.
It's been a good day, guys.
Yeah. Agreed.
I gotta give Mark the pun award though right now for replying to that comment. Mega Man hentai.
So, like, I can't really think of anything else that is such a trope that keeps the common person like away from anime. Like, the only things that really stick out to me is like tentacles. I guess like massive use of titties. Like, if you have
Massive
like ridiculously overwhelming amount, where like High School of the Dead, like you show shit like that to somebody, they probably won't watch it. Like, dude, I'll be honest with you.
Was it High School DxD?
I rewatched the High School of the Dead scene where they're like fighting on the highway, and the
God.
boob thing where the gun went through the. Oh my god, dude! I was just like, it hurt, and I was like, dude, I actually liked this at one point.
Yeah. It's a little ridiculous, but I mean that's what makes anime interesting. Is it's hard to critique it as a whole because it's
good
not
a
anime,
whole.
there's bad anime. Exactly.
It's
there's
a
good
format.
anime, bad anime, and it's just.
Because like if you guys really want, we could put you in front of some really bad anime. We got a list. Like I got big order right here waiting for you. Yeah, come on over, dude.
Jesus Christ.
Anime makes me
Don't
fucking
tempt
mad.
him. He will. He will. Do not tempt the man.
And then like, Mark will bring out Lost Village or something.
Hey, what?
Yeah, and you'll just be stuck there forever, not knowing what the fuck happened, or if anything happened, or what the fuck. Just you'll be left there. But those aren't even tropes. I feel those are just bad.
No, those are just bad series. But that's the thing. Like,
Yes, bad.
it's people that have the misconception, again,
Yes.
that anime is always static and it's like never. It's always gonna be the same thing, when it's not.
Yes.
Anime is so fucking vast, dude. It's like people just aren't looking at it as like I keep telling people like anime is not a genre. It's not.
Yep.
It's a category for multiple genres. You can have anime or like action adventure anime, a slice of life anime, romance anime, drama anime. Like, there's so many different options.
That's why it bothers me when I go to sites like Hulu or Netflix or whatever, and they have anime as a genre. I'm like, no, dude, it's not a genre.
Yeah. It's like a slap in the face.
Yeah.
Well, like, look at Amazon where it's a channel of anime.
Yeah.
So that makes absolute sense to me. It's funny.
You know, just I was just
It
laughing
does
at
make
the fact
sense.
that- no, I know it does. I'm just saying. I'm just laughing at the fact that you have to pay extra for the channel.
You know,
I mean,
I only pay $5.
That also makes sense.
I only pay $5. I'm a prime student, so you know.
Yeah. I feel you.
That's where I'm at. But like maybe next year, not next year, like 6 months from now, when it's gone, then I'll probably feel that way. But who knows, like where we'll be? Because like I don't know if Anime Strike's gonna be able to get these ridiculous, deals with these simulcasts. Because I want to say it's luck, but I don't at the same time.
I
dude,
don't want to say it's luck because Amazon is
If
really good at
Amazon
business.
was only lucky, they would not. Yeah, they would not be what they are right now.
Funimation has what is it called again? Fuck, Code Geass.
Do they?
Yeah, they just announced it today.
Amazon has that already, right now.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, the fact that they're getting it kind of late. Like, Crunchyroll just got Rage of Bahamut season 1. It's like, I just wish I had like so much hope and faith that there would be one unified place for me to watch all my anime. Like, it was almost there, dude. We had the whole deal with Crunchyroll and Funimation, and it was just like, oh yes, finally. It's all like everything's falling into place, and then Amazon's just like, hold my beer. It's like, come on, dude. Like, that's what makes it hard to be a legal anime watcher. Other than that, I would be so down to like watch anime legally forever. But knowing that I have to do that, it's really annoying. We're going through different sources. And when you have a fucking streaming service that has the rights to a series and is waiting till it's fully aired in Japan until they can release it. I'm not going to throw names, but you're already...
You know who you are.
You can probably chill with it.
It's like so annoying. So is there anything else that you guys can think of, like, that people always is misleading for the average person?
One big thing that we didn't really talk about much was there's a lot of people that think it's specifically for kids.
Yes.
Yes, that's actually
a
another
really good
aspect.
point.
And my response to that is school days.
What?
What?
Oh yeah, because it is. Yeah, I see what you're saying. Yeah.
My response to that is watch School Days.
I feel like every anime that I got hooked into was definitely not for kids, like when I was young. Like,
Oh, yeah.
dude, alright, so the anime that everyone knows is my favorite, Detective Conan, Case Closed. When I was watching that, I was super young, and that was about, like, murdering people all the time. Like, someone died every episode.
Oh yeah, that what is it? The first season with the mansion episode where it's fucking raining.
The bandage.
That classic. Holy fucking shit! I fucking hate that episode.
Dude, that guy gave me nightmares. Alright, fun fact: I lived in a basement when that episode aired, and the basement was the house was in front of the woods, and my window had no shades, so I had to watch that at 3 a.m. and then look over next to the woods. When the episode was in the woods, and there's a guy coming up in people's houses and killing people.
Classic murder mansion in the woods.
That was a really good
had
episode.
that as a trailer. I remember that. They had that as a trailer where it's like, oh, okay, so they're investigating a dead body, and they made a joke of it. It's like, yeah, so what killed him? It's like probably the knife in his back, and it's like, ha ha ha, that's funny. But then it's like, again, it's like you're showing this to people who are like 10 or single digit, like 8-year-old kids are watching this shit, and it's like you just like completely made a fucking joke about a guy brutally stabbed to death.
In their defense, though, like when Case Closed was airing, it was on Adult Swim.
Yep.
So I can't hate them, but
I don't hate them. I'm just pointing out that some things are a bit on the nose.
Yeah, like I don't want to talk about the show too much, but if you ever watch that episode of Case Closed, like it's actually really good because the show, when you they're going to a villa because their friend who's rich is having a party, which makes absolutely no sense. It's like for a movie or something, and like they show you all these suspects, and you're like, oh, who is it? You try and figure out who it is. They have this one guy. He's like fat as fuck, and you're thinking he can't be the guy throughout the whole thing. And then like at the end, you find out he was the guy. It's just that he was wearing like a fat suit.
What the shit?
Yeah, like, I was just like, wow, they got me. They finally got me. Because I feel like I always guessed it. And then, like, they always give you the clues at the end, which used to piss me off, too. Then again, I didn't have to watch it, but I always did. So, yeah, case closed. Detective Conan. Watch that. It's fun.
Good stuff.
Mm-hmm. What if, as you mentioned before, these shows are for kids, right? The first manga, well, one of the first, oh, alright, so let me talk about the first 3 mangas I ever read in my life.
Alright.
Chobits, Inuyasha, and Akira.
Doesn't Inuyasha have a giant titty monster in
Dude.
the first volume?
Inuyasha shows so
Why do
much
you know that?
titties. It's not even funny. They're literally everywhere. Alright, I'm not gonna lie. That was kind of one of the reasons why I used to read it. Because I was like, ooh, this is naughty. You know? Some good
That's
stuff.
funny. The first, I want to say the first, the first manga I ever bought was actually Tenchi Muyo. So you can imagine how that went.
Ooh, that sounds fun.
Yeah. I mean, it was a good read. It was actiony and it was good. And I mean, that was my first foray into manga, and I thought it was cool. I liked it.
Yeah, like a lot of people, like back when you think about it, what was really printing in the U.S.?
Not a lot.
Not a
Nothing.
lot. And then
It
everything
was like,
else- Go ahead.
I remember there used to be like in the early 2000s, there was like one shelf, like one column of like 4 shelves
Mhm.
of manga in a bookstore, like a Borders or
Yep.
Barnes and Noble,
Borders.
whatever the hell.
Oh.
I don't know. I don't
I
think
think
it
it's
was
Borders.
Yeah, it used to be Borders. I don't think it was one shelf. It might have been. Okay, you can call it a shelf, like a whole shelf, like up and down, and that was it.
Yeah.
When I
It's
was
like a whole
younger,
shelf.
I was blessed with the ability to go to the library after school. For some odd reason, my mom thought that was like, you know,
That's where you learn to be not a bad kid.
yeah, I guess. So that was like my
I
thing.
assume that's their thought process.
I'd ride my bike down to the library and I would go in there and read. And there was like this small corner that actually
Just like
had
you're
a
playing
lot
Persona.
of manga. Yeah.
So, God, I'm so enraged.
you know how I mentioned the print, right? And how like what was really printing. When you think about it, like back then, it was like Dragon Ball Z heavily.
Yep.
It was
Yep. Naruto, I think.
Naruto, not yet.
Not
Yeah.
not immediately, but
Yeah,
it did.
It was getting
eventually.
there. That and One Piece were starting to be a thing, but it was like literally always heavy on Dragon Ball Z, Inuyasha, Yu Yu Hakusho,
Yep.
Shaman King. You know, it's
Shaman
like-
King, hell yeah.
Yeah, so like there's so many different things, and it's kind of interesting to think that people would see that manga and think like that, where like you never seen a lot of things like Chobits or, I'm trying to think of any like really ridiculous anime.
My
Not
friend
mangas.
used to read D and Angel when we went to
I've
Borders.
heard of that, but I never actually read it.
It's about
I
this
never
kid
got
named
into that
Angel.
one myself. Yeah, it was weird. I actually have one thing that that I have a question for you, Kenny, because you're unique among all of us in one regard, and
It's
that
'cause
is
I'm
the
black?
fact that yes, you have a kid,
Yes.
you have a son,
Uh-huh.
and I don't know if you ever thought into how you're going to
Wait, Nick,
introduce
don't you have a
the
kid?
fact that
Damn, come on,
No.
dude.
no, well,
Oh,
fuck,
you don't know that.
I hope not. I hope not.
There you go.
I don't answer unknown. I don't. Anyway, I have thought of this myself, and I'm curious as someone who actually is a parent. I'm pretty sure you've thought of how you're gonna talk to Cameron about drugs and
Oh,
sex
okay.
and
Yeah.
bad things, alcohol. How do you plan on approaching anime to him?
Uh,
Not
No.
at all.
t-
I
so
wouldn't.
he's already watched Pokemon. I actually wanted to get him into some other series that I am like okay with and I think would be fine. To be honest, I don't think that's something you can ever really get a kid into, like, to talk about.
Mhm.
It's just one of those things that, like, you show them what you know is okay, and then you go from
Yeah.
there. And then
feels like-
he'll explore on his own, and especially, like, I've seen a lot of parent-kid situations where, like, they become fans together, and they watch together and share
Yeah.
together. Like,
Give
that's...
them that TMNT, bro.
Dude, I'm gonna give him that Jackie Chan Adventures, dude.
Oh hell yeah! I was just gonna say that next too.
Dude, they're
Yeah,
making a
that's
live
a good one.
action, and they're making another TV show.
That's
You know that?
amazing. I'm so glad to hear that.
It's
Actually,
live action
what I was
starring
gonna-
Jackie Chan?
Yep.
Was it?
Okay, good.
No, I'm just kidding. I have no idea.
Trolling.
What was it? Oh, no. What I was getting at myself was, yeah, because I mean, I've had to I've talked about that with my brothers, and it's awkward because it's like it's that age where they're 13 and 11 respectively, so it's like they know about adult topics, but of course they can't ask me about it because I'm like 20 years older than them.
Yeah.
But it's interesting because I show them anime like My Hero Academia, and it's like I vet it. I watch before I let them watch it to make sure it's not too
Yeah,
bad.
don't slide
But then
Parasite
this-
or something at them, you know?
Well, there's shit like Gate,
That's so extreme.
which is like Gate is awesome for the first their first season, and then immediately in the second season, the first episode of the second season, there's like copious amounts of intercourse and rape. And I had to be like, listen, guys, I know you like Gate, I know it's cool, but stop watching it. Like, do not watch it anymore.
Oh yeah, okay. I was like,
Like,
what
it
are you
just
talking
starts
about?
off
And I
with
was like,
just like,
yeah, I remember that part.
Yeah, to be honest,
Yeah.
like I never had an issue with, like, I think it's when we were younger, what we were watching never crossed the line. I mean, what was airing at the
Yes.
time. So, like, I never had concerned anyone with what I'm watching, nor did I give them a reason to. So, whenever, like, my mom would come home, she'd see me watching Dragon Ball Z, it's like, okay, watching Rurouni Kenshin, okay, like, there's literally nothing I was watching that was, like, too much. To be honest with you, I still can't think that Tenchi Muyo was bad. Like, I can't think that series was bad because I can't remember it. It's been
Same.
so long, but, like, I used to love that series so much. So, I don't know. Like, when it comes down to your kids, you know what's good. You'll know exactly what you can watch with them. You know
Exactly, yeah.
what they can watch by themselves. And because you're well versed in anime, you can be like, "What are you watching? I know what this is." While the parent will be like another parent who doesn't know what anime is, they'll be completely over their head.
Mhm.
So, I don't know.
Well, there's all that like obvious stuff, but you know how parents are like big into showing kids violence at an early age or
Yeah.
whatever. So
I think that is. I don't want to say it's retarded, but
Violence
it's
and
the
like
manner-
language and all that bullshit. Like, I'm just not
Yeah.
about it. Like, I don't swear in front of my son, like, at
Mhm.
all. Like, he gets like upset when I like say shut up.
oh yeah.
Dad, that's a bad word, and I'm like, okay.
That's actually probably like the cutest thing I've ever heard of about your kid. To be honest,
So
that's adorable.
so that's where it is right there. Like, me personally, I'm not concerned. You should know what your kid can watch. Like, I was watching Naruto with my cousin the other day. I went to visit my mom's house, and like my cousin was watching Naruto, like the first like in the Chunin exams, and I'm just like
Right.
sitting next to her. Like, mind you, she's like maybe I want to say 10 or 11 or something like that, and I'm just like sitting here like, man, I'm just not used to this. Like, it just being okay. Like it's not like she's looking at it as like a kid show either. She's looking at it as like, this is anime. She recognizes it for what it is already this early, and I'm just like really impressed.
That's good.
Yeah.
Honestly, like I think that what's that show that they made the movie 21 Jump Street. 21 Jump Street had that whole thing where it's like, yeah, stereotypical jocks are cool, nerds are fucking pieces of shit in high school. The cliche high school thing since like the fucking 50s until like the early 2000s. And then what they had it is they addressed the fact that nowadays, if you're into like that weird vegan hippie shit, like you're into all of this really just nerdy stuff, that's cool now. Like the MCU for Marvel, DC movies, they've made it so comic books, they're the shit. It's something to brag about at school. I got to go to MegaCon. I got to go to PAX East. I got to go to Comic-Con. That's something kids brag about nowadays. 15 years ago, 20 years ago, you try to say that shit, people look at you like you're a fucking leper. So a common misconception, I think, has also changed over the course of the past few years, where now it's pretty damn cool to be into this stuff. Or if not cool, it's a lot more acceptable at the least.
Yes. And like I first went to my first anime con like 3 or 4 years ago, and that was just like a whole another experience for me to know that there are this many people that shared the same likes as me, and I didn't know. You know what I mean? Like as you grow up, especially when we were younger, it was more of a sheltered thing. Like we didn't, I didn't openly talk about anime. The only people I talked about anime with or manga was the people that I was super close with, and then even when we were in high school and stuff, I didn't talk about that until like we graduated high school. So it's just one of those things, and like I don't really want to talk about your brothers that much, like dive too into it, but I do want to say this: your brothers just seem really like well rounded. Every time like I've seen them, which has only been like 3 times in my life, but like your brothers are like just seem so well rounded, and I can't help but think anime played a good role in there.
I feel it did. Honestly, I think that like when my sister was growing up, or especially like I was growing up, I'm not gonna say we were complete shitbirds, but we weren't like my sister and I are pretty fucked up. Like we're huge years apart. Like I'm 7 years older than her. She's 7 years older than Will, and then Will's like a year and a half older than Andrew. So the boys are like 15 years younger than me, and like 7, 8 years younger than her. And like we were pretty shitty, but I feel like they learned from both us as people, but also by the things that we allowed to influence them, which was not just anime but games, to make them into good people.
So you acted
And
as
I
a
absolutely
filter.
feel that. Yes, I feel like that really helped.
Like, it's getting there where I'm starting to think that when I see 2 siblings, one watches anime and plays games, and the other one goes out and does all this, like, hanging out with friends thing, I usually see one of them being successful. At least a little more successful than the other.
Just hanging out with friends too. Like
I'm filtering.
no, it's just like the way you said it. It just seemed like it was just really like it was really like an alien thing. Like you've never heard of it before.
Yeah, I was like, yeah, that's such a weird thing. Who the hell hangs out with
What's this hanging out with friends talk about, guys?
This is the extent
No one
I
does
do
that.
of
You
hanging
guys have
out
friends?
with friends.
Where can I find some friends?
Oh.
Pretty sure you can buy girls. Oh, you can buy
Okay.
girls time and play Overwatch with them in Hearthstone, and you have to pay extra for the mic.
Wait, you can do what?
That is a thing,
What
and my
the
best
fuck?
friend actually is. It's like a one-on-one custom gaming stream kind of thing where you will play with an attractive female for money.
It hurts.
It
That
is,
It hurts so much.
so dumb.
Yeah.
admittedly one step down from prostitution, but
Can we
probably
just,
just
like-
as poorly looked at.
Oh god.
Yeah.
Not.
It is what it
Nah.
is. That's all I gotta say. It is what it is, man.
It's good to see that we can always touch on gaming, you know, even if it's a very small,
Yeah, even if it's-
minuscule thing. Oh
Yeah,
man, dude.
honestly, yeah.
Woo.
Oh, and I want your thoughts before I wrap up here on this subject. What do you guys think about AI Chan? The
Oh.
So streaming a YouTuber slash streamer that is actually it's a Vocaloid.
One of the best things in the world, apparently.
Like what is it essentially? It's like
I've only
an
ever
anime
seen
girl,
that
right?
word.
It's an anime
Yeah.
girl, kind of like a Vocaloid situation, where like she's playing games, quote unquote, and she's talking and everything. It's interesting. So someone like created her, and they're acting like she is an actual person playing the games, and it's very popular. I'm like, I'm not mad at it. I'm mad at myself for not thinking of the idea.
Same.
No, I got you. Okay, let me.
So I do some
I
research.
personally, I know it's like honestly, I think that strays very close to terrifying, goddamn Skynet bullshit. Like this one really hot stoner that I used to talk to. We had legitimate conversations, and then it kind of took a turn for the worse when she kind of went on about how AI is going to fucking take over the world. And now with that in mind, I can't help but imagine like this is the avatar that will do it. This is like the means that AI will
I
take
always
us
thought
over.
an anime girl would take over the world. It was either that or like once Japan finally gets those Gundams going, like it's a wrap.
Oh yeah, we're fucked. Yeah, like I feel like that is the new Cold War. Like that whole joke about, oh yeah, so America, you've got guns, huh? We have swords on our robots, and it's like robot wars, and I'm like, no, this is legit. This is the second coming of the Cold War. This is gonna be like America versus Japan in just a horrid, god awful combat. It's a proxy war. That's all it is. But yeah.
All right.
That's Nick's insane rant for the night.
Well, yeah. So, thanks guys for watching. Listening mostly because you miss our faces. I understand. I do apologize.
Yes.
Hopefully, you'll see our lovely faces very soon, and definitely check out our blogs. Our blog. We have a bunch of posts on there. We are past 100 posts right now, which is insane. We literally just started and we really took it serious like in December. So
Yeah.
we're growing extremely slowly, but we're growing, and really appreciate it if you can read our articles, let us know any feedback, or just give us a like or a comment. That'd be awesome. Also, I just posted an article about Japan and my trip to Japan, so you get some insight there. And if you have any ideas or tips you want to give to other readers that have or wanted to go to Japan, throw it down in the comments as well. But yeah, thank you so much for watching, and see you guys next time.
Later.
Bye.
Nick, you suck.